What is the definition of the different kinds of soils purchased by the bag, specifically garden soil, potting soil, topsoil, raised bed soil? All of these have the same components, so how do they differ? Also, none of these have clay as a component. Why not? You would think true soil would contain clay, and this is from Chuck. So we're talking about the old soils in bags that you get from the big box store. So Tonya, let's look at these individually for a second. Garden soil, what's in garden soil, do you think?
Well, garden soil is going to be a lot of wood products mixed in, not very much peat and not as much organic matter as like a potting soil would be. Garden soil is usually for just to put out into the landscape and not in a container, and you can use garden soil in a raised bed. Okay,
so you can't use it in a raised bed. All right, potting soil?
Potting soil is going to be fluffier and lighter, less compaction, good drainage for your containers. Usually you'll have a lot of peat moss in there and some vermiculite and nice loose material. As far as your topsoil, it usually comes from the top 12 inches of the earth's surface, and there's not going to be a lot of organic matter or anything in there. It's usually the least expensive of all those, the cheapest stuff to use. You can use that. You can even mix compost in with that to make it a little bit better. And as far as why, what was the other one? The raised bed. Okay, that's going to be kind of like between potting soil and garden soil. So maybe not quite as good for containers, but you don't have to buy raised bed soil, you know, for your raised bed gardens. You can use the cheaper garden soil, but it's going to be a little bit lighter and fluffier and maybe less wood product than just plain garden soil. Okay.
Do you think you get the nutrient requirements needed for plant growth if you use like garden soil or
probably not? You might want to wait and do a soil test after a little while, and you may have to add some things. And I would say if you're just dumping out a bag of garden soil, it wouldn't hurt to mix in some compost if you've got it. And then was the other one, why is there not clay?
Yeah, why is there not clay in it?
Well, you know, in soils class, they teach you the three components of soil is sand, silt, and clay. So why don't they have clay in the soil? Well, clay is heavier, it's finer, and it's doesn't drain very well. So that's probably why they don't put clay in there.
Right, it's gonna hold a lot of moisture. Right. Yeah, just take the clay in your backyard, or front yard for that matter. But yeah, you're definitely right about those, and yeah, you see these all the time at the big box stores. Of course, you know, in the bags. But yeah, you don't want a lot of clay in that. Right. And I was thinking too for the raised bed soil. I would think some of that would contain maybe some organic material when you think, you know, probably has a little sand in it, a little organic material. Maybe it holds nutrients a little better than some of the rest. The topsoil I use at home, I pretty much use that to fill in holes. You know, if I have little divots or something in the yard or whatever, I just grab the topsoil and put it in there. You know, it just seems to fit that purpose pretty well. Thanks for watching. If you liked it, subscribe. We have hundreds of family plot videos for you to view.